Imagine a community in which you are responsible for is in the distant potential path of an advancing wildfire that just blew up a few hours earlier in the day. You know that you have hundreds of people with access and functional needs in your community, and it will literally take around a dozen buses to evacuate these individuals, if necessary. You also know it's going to take hours to get those buses from surrounding communities. The fire is wind-driven, and your decision is based on how long the 25 to 30 mile per hour winds are expected to continue today. Do you believe that your app on your phone says that in 2 hours the winds will drop to 10 to 15 miles per hour? Do you make a go, no-go decision based on that simple information? Do you have time to make a phone call to your local weather office amongst all the other things on your plate at the moment? Does your assistant make that call, and perhaps a game of telephone ensues, with increasing chances for incorrect information to be passed along from others in your EOC? Weather information is so prevalent, and it is being served up to each and every one of us in so many different forms. But a weather forecast is so much more than the single values we have easy access to on our phones, or even a spot forecast, or an email briefing you may have received a few hours ago. What is missing in this situation is interpretive service. What if you could have brought in an NWS forecaster when you activated your EOC for a potentially very significant event like this? They might confidently express to you that there's still a 40% chance that the winds will continue to blow faster than 25 miles per hour for 4 hours longer than what the one value shows you on your phone. It's that element of interpretive service that can be so important, and that is a focus of the National Weather Service's evolution of impacts-based decision support services. Developing relationships between the NWS and you as core partners has demonstrated that just simply serving up all the data is not enough to provide the most effective support for you and the decisions you are faced with in your emergency management community. There is so much more information available that can be brought to bear by the modern meteorologist or hydrologist, trained in communicating based on the thresholds you already know. The National Weather Service's strategic plan calls on the agency to respond to your changing customer needs by rigorously assessing its interactions with public safety, emergency management, and water resource management officials. We aim to ensure that there's an appropriate connection between the forecasts and the warnings and the decisions made by you in the emergency management community. Now, some hazardous events are more obviously involving weather and water-related impacts than others. As the National Weather Service has become more involved over the years, we've often looked at the emergency support functions and thought, well, weather isn't one of them. So when an activation occurs and ESF 1, 2, 7, and 8, for example, are activated for an event, we've sort of understood why some in a stressful activation may not think to bring in weather support to an EOC or an incident command. However, weather does have a role in all the ESFs, whether it be something like temperature impacts on mass care sheltering, assisting with impacts from hazmat like dispersion modeling, or forecasting rainfall amounts to help predict underground erosion when PVC pipes have melted in an intense wildfire. With this in mind, recent liaison efforts with FEMA in the western United States have resulted in more thorough inclusion of NWS services in all hazards planning. NWS capabilities are increasingly being called out specifically in each Community Lifeline's tab or appendices within an all hazards plan, even for exercises and real-world events that may not be directly related to weather. This explicit inclusion of NWS capabilities ensures that potential primary or secondary weather and water hazards are not overlooked, especially in a rapidly evolving situation. The National Weather Service continues to evolve towards our goal to achieve a weather-ready nation by ensuring you, the critical decision makers, can make well-informed decisions and improve responsiveness to protect lives and livelihoods. Thank you.